bunch of the Lunar Llamas. I saved up tickets they carried over from the Winter Llama event. So we're going to roll through these right about now. Although I want to, while we're having some people join in on the stream here, let's check in here real quick and make sure have any comments rolling in yet. We're also going to hop in on the
also have a great workout tomorrow.
What we actually wound up doing
go to the gym
as far as, sorry, we're getting our thing here set up here. All right, there we go. We are ready. Cool, I believe. All right, so as far as some of the RNG that we had from our last one, you saw some of those open. Well, here are some of the the heroes as they sit now as we scroll through here. So this is where they'll kind of start. So you can see from the last one, we still have some that we haven't retired yet. So we got everyone that you're going to see here is down below this point where they haven't been leveled are all duplicates. They've all already been added in the collection book as well. So these are just extras that came out of previous llamas. And we have people asking about, legendaries versus epic, stuff like that. I think you're going to get a feel for that right here. So we've got let's start here. We've got one legendary Demolisher Jonesy, which would be the second one actually we have. I haven't put him in the collection book yet. So we have one of these that we're going to keep, and then one we'll throw in the collection book. Then we have 3 Fragment Flurry Jesses here. We didn't put her in the collection book either, so there's a total of 4 of those. 2 Sergeant Winters, plus the one that we have, and then obviously the one that's in the collection book, so a total of 4 of those. Legendary Warden Kyle, we only have 2 of those. This guy still needs to go in the collection book. We've got 1 up here. As you can tell, Alchemist Sarah, she's already got 1 in the collection book, but here there are 5 of her. Let's keep going down here. So Demolisher Jonesy in Epic, take a look at all of those, and that's including the one starting in the collection book. So there's that one. Here's a bunch of Fragment Flurry Jesses in Epic. 2 Jolly Headhunters. Don't have her in the collection, or we already do have her in the collection book. Some more Sergeant Winters in Epic. I did open one of these Lunar Llamas earlier, and that's who I got out of the Lunar Llama. An Epic Shotgunner Grizzly. Here are a ton of Epic Warden Kyles. And there's a couple of Skirmisher Edges down here. Alright, so we've had the stream kind of going for long enough here. People who would have joined in are probably already in. So let's bring this up here. Let's see if we can make... Where is our chat? Alright, there we go. We got the chat rolling there too. Cool. It's quiet in the chat right now. Alright, so let's start popping open some of these llamas and taking a look at what's actually in here. Let's go with our first one. So we'll do the same thing. We'll fast forward through these so you don't have to sit here through. We're going to do at least 30 of them. Maybe we'll go 40. I guess it depends on how things go. Alright, so it looks like we're going to get an Epic. Don't have either one of these. I don't know. We'll just go with the Ninja. So we're going to have the Epic Ninja out of that batch. Alright, let's on to the next.
Oh, 3-pronged.
Hopefully these, the RNG out of these is going to be a little better than out of the Winter Llamas. I was kind of disappointed in how those paid out. You really need to open a ton of those. Alright, so we got a Copper Dragonfire. That's going to be the shotgun, right? Yeah. Curious, what's our perk on this? Affliction is the perk. Alright, cool. That's not bad. I wasn't around for the Lunar event last year.
Look out!
So, yeah, I don't have any of these so far except for the one from the quest line. And I chose the Assault Rifle for that one. Got Epic Sniper. Ooh, and a... different shotgun, Dragon's Might. Didn't realize there were 2 shotguns in there. I don't even remember where this one comes from. Scavenger Sniper. I think that's just from the Scavenger set. We'll let it sit there though. I'm just curious. Come back and take a look at that later.
On guard!
We got our forward action. And we got an epic version of the dragon rifle. That I have that one legendary because that's what I selected out of the. You get a 6-pack choice when you complete 30 minutes of that Frost Knight wave, and that's the one that I went for. I was torn between that and the Fury, which is the launcher. Hopefully we'll wind up getting a Fury out of this. From what I understand, most of these weapons from the last series are kind of... that's a blunderbuss. Why not? Hopefully the... well, from what I heard, the old version was kind of crappy. So we get our choice between an Epic Constructor and Epic Outlander. It's not like it really matters on either one of these, but... Alright, well there we go. Hopefully if I don't have him in the collection book already, now I can. I'm 99% sure I do, but... Let's go ahead and mark for retire. Oh, that means I didn't, you know what, I'm going to slot him later by himself outside of this. That's good news. Try and build up the collection book.
Fun!
Hopefully we get something decent. Let's go. Another epic. Fantastic. Guess I don't have her in the collection book either. Interesting. We could just retire from there.
Swing
but,
away!
You know, going through these.
That was awesome.
Usually I don't like to put something in the collection book if it's possible for me to flex it up for later, so I have to worry about pulling it out later. But with the new pricing, for only 20 V-Bucks to grab something out of the, there we go, legendary, with the new pricing to get something out of the collection book at 20 V-Bucks, it's pretty economical to take something out. It's not bad at all, but you know how Epic is. They can change things. You drop a hat and it could be 200 V-Bucks tomorrow, so it's one of those things. Nothing in Save the World, I've come to find as I've been playing it, is permanent. Everything is subject to the change at their whim without any advance notice, which kind of sucks. Yay, the Epic version at least. So there we go, that's new. At least I have the potential to flux that up later if I need to, and a lot of people talk about flux. Obviously, you only get 50 a week unless you're getting something out of, eventually you get the collection book up high enough, you get like 50 flux out of the collection book. It's not very much, so the idea that you would want to spend flux to upgrade something like this, it's just probably not worth it at all, considering, other options, but at least it's sitting out there and it's on the table, so to speak. So, what have we gone through now? Start out with 20,000, we've gone through about 8, 9, something like that.
Remember me.
And the survey says... Ouch. Yet another epic. And we're actually putting that one guy in the collection book. Interesting.
Who doesn't love forks?
That's me.
Alright, let's roll through this one. Aha! Alright, nice. A legendary hero that I do not have yet. Happy to see that. Right response hazard. That is a... that's an events hero right there. 99% sure he is. So we'll save him in the stash. I don't want to put anybody yet in the collection book retirement until we get through the list, so we can kind of see what we have after we go back to the hero screen. Kind of take inventory, so to speak. Stonefoot Crash. She is not. Come on. There it is.
To the mine!
Adios.
Let's see what we have here. So we're thinking about going over to Mixer. I've gotten the request for that. Probably going to wind up doing that. You know, really haven't been streaming long here on Twitch. Streaming really hasn't been my. She is also a event item, event hero. Twitch really hasn't been my thing.
Look out! We
Try something on Mixer, you know, for our YouTube thing. I don't even know really how many, if any, really real subscribers we've got over. We do appreciate your support over on YouTube for the streaming channel part of this here, but this is an event character right there. But our thing has been YouTube and more on the real gun side, as you can see behind me there. We've got on that one right there is the Ford TS12 shotgun. That's a 12 gauge shotgun. This is the Galil Ace. It's got a Liberty Constitution silencer on it, and then up in the case there is a PS90, as well as a Glock 17.
Ooh, nice.
And that, of course, obviously does close up there. It's
I regret nothing.
it's a concealment shelf. Obviously, with it open, it is not concealing anything, but that's all right. You guys can't see what's in there if you don't. All right, nice. So we're going to get the Dragon's Fury right now. I'm not going to pass that up because this and the assault rifle are the two best, arguably the two best weapons out of this set. So I don't want to pass up on that.
Loot Llama.
Grab it now. Of course, obviously, it's always a gamble. I may get it on the next one here, and then may not wind up getting a sword at all, or a spear at all. So, interesting to see how this plays out. Epic Ninja, Epic Outlander. Play a lot of Outlanders, more so than Ninjas, but I've got a ton of Outlanders right now. Well, why not? Chances are it's going to be something for the collection book anyway, but we'll see. And I have, you know, obviously both of these, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a collection book. We're retiring, so. And Onslaught was our event hero. Skirmisher Edge shouldn't be. I don't remember. It all blurs together at this point. So, let's take a look at this next one here.
Woo!
Hoping we wind up getting all the legendary heroes out of this run. This is an event one, not event. Okay.
Okay, here's the pit.
Llama out.
Let's take a look at this next one. So you guys have any questions? Anything else while you're tuning in? Aha! Nice. Alright, so we got right response hazard. Did not have him, so that's excellent. Glad to see that. There's one or two more legendaries. Nope, no questions from you guys yet. Let's keep on rolling.
Well, I am out of here.
Sorry guys, I'm tired today. My heart isn't necessarily in this today, as you can probably tell. But I'm just tired. It's been just kind of a wet, nasty day out there, but I needed to get these llamas open because I want to start messing around with one or two of these event weapons, and want to at least get stuff on a stream. That way, if you're thinking about how many llamas you want to open for this season or whatever else, what do you want to shoot for, it gives you an idea of how many you have to open and what you're going to get from it. So here is the sword, which is good. You know, having the mythic sword, the Tree of Light, and the Spectral Blade, really, those are kind of the top three
Chores.
Swords in the game right now, in my opinion. And
That's me.
I don't think that sword's really going to be worth leveling up or doing anything with. But it's like with anything else, and then shifting meta and other things, probably, excuse me, would probably, anything could happen going forward, so, yeah. We'll see if he's in the collection book or not yet. I would assume he is. I don't think he is, but you never know. We got another epic choice here. We just got sword and epic over there, so I'm going to grab this one just in case we ever find a way to get our hands on. There's allegedly this rifle in the legendary comes with a couple different. Can I put him in the? Yeah, I can throw him right now in the collection book. Perfect. Check that off the map. 3 different perks, I think. Snare, Affliction, and then the fireworks, I believe, in that rifle. So I know the fireworks are definitely a perk that you can get on the rocket launcher. So fingers crossed, at least one of those I'm going to get will have that. So I hear that's actually pretty fun to watch. And that's the thing, that just because something isn't a top tier weapon doesn't mean that it's not going to be fun to use, especially at lower levels, right? So you look at my power level right now, and I am 125. So when I go into lower twine, missions or anything in Plankerton, Stonewood, or Canny, it really, I don't need to use top tier weapons. I can
Llama,
use
at your service.
anything, still just own the husks at the lower levels because of my power level. And when you get down to that level, something that's fun to use from time to time, like the Coco 45. Coco 45 is a really fun pistol. It shoots marshmallows that are piercing. It doesn't do a ton of damage, so it's definitely not useful at higher levels. But if you're talking about like anything that's under a power level like 88, 94, something like that, it does fantastic. It does fine. And of course, anything Stonewood, Canny, or Plank, it's going to one-shot or two-shot pretty much everything. Even with just, I've only got it a few perks, and it still does really well, so, have fun with some of those different guns, mix it up, enjoy it, don't stick to the best guns if you're down lower, if there's something you want to play with and try. Have fun with it, it's the only way to keep from getting bored. This game can get pretty stagnant at times, and if you're not playing with, if you don't have friends to play with, if you don't kind of mix it up and keep it interesting, Aha! Nice. Alright, so we're going to take another one of these and hope it's got the right 6th perk on it. I hope so. Well, this one causes Affliction. I'm not unhappy with Affliction. But, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys really can't hear my dog barking. Something's got his attention out there. I don't see anything out there.
Oh,
but,
no!
You never know. I think he's barking on the other side of the house.
I regret nothing!
We'll see. Middle of the day here. Could be a deer going to the pond to take a drink, something like that. He'll bark at the deer. Tell him it's his pond. Get out of the way. Alright. Like I said, we're not retiring. I'm going to try not to purposefully retire anybody that's from this Lunar Llama set. That way when we pull it up at the end, we can get a full picture and view of everything that's come across for this event. Aha! Good, so I want to say that's the first one we've got of Whirlwind Scorch in Legendary, which is nice. We got several of him in Epic already, or Rare. At least one in Epic, I believe. Alright, so what do we got?
Welcome.
About a dozen left, 14, whatever that is.
Prizes.
Let's fire this up here, and let's see. I am thinking about holding on to a few of these. Holy cow, that is a ton of rares. I don't know.
Who doesn't love forks?
We'll see. We'll just burn them all down. It's not like it really matters. I would assume at the end of this event they're gonna cut through them all. Nice. Fingers crossed, another affliction. Alright, well, that could be worse.
What you
And
jumping?
again, I could be mistaken for one of those random perks on the Dragon's Roar. That one may not have the fireworks perk on it as an option. I've heard it does, but I honestly don't know. Might as well throw them in there, why not?
Hey, swinging.
Alright,
That's me.
fire up this next one. And let's see. Again, some of these I'm not automatically retiring because I don't
Swing away.
want to at least have a decent sampling at the end here so that you see what's going on. It's one of the reasons why I don't have the automatic selection on for some of these other Epic of Him. They really, really enjoy handing those out, don't they?
Look out, Lee.
Remember me.
So if I do get that with the Fireworks 6 perk, I'm going to wind up calling it... Oh! Berserker Renegade. I do not have him yet. Short fuse. Shield depletes, resets shockwave cooldown. Interesting. That's kind of cool. And what's his other one on here? Hold on. Just curious. Occurs once every 12 seconds. That's kind of cool. Alright.
Oh,
That's interesting.
tickles. Ooh, nice.
So I haven't been counting. I don't know if any of you have been counting as we're going along here. If you have, go ahead, drop it down in the chat. Speaking of which, pop into the chat. Kind of all quiet. Alright, let's do another one here. See
Chores.
what happens.
Adios.
I would think there's not going to be any more llamas after this, but I honestly don't know. Another freaking epic. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing the way some of these RNGs have been turning out lately. And I don't know how you all feel about that. But
That was awesome.
drop a comment down below if you know how you feel about not just the winter but these as well. It seemed like, and maybe it's just nostalgia looking back, but it seemed like the Fortnite Llamas did substantially better. Well, maybe not substantially, but they definitely did better, in my opinion, in handing out
Look out!
legendaries and non-duplicates.
Fight on.
Yes. Alright. Now, I know that's another duplicate, but it is a legendary, and this one increases impact and stun duration. Okay. Interesting. Which isn't terrible. I think all of these are locked into fire, if I remember correctly. We'll have to take a look at that later and see if you can change that.
Swing
I'm
away!
pretty sure they're all locked into fire. And from what I understand, if you get the right perks on there, they can give the Gravedigger a run for its money. Oh, this is just an awful llama. But I don't know. We'll try it out. I'll probably take one and I'll level it. Maybe
bases
to
are
take
loaded.
it up to like 1 of 6. Blue-ish perks.
Well, I am
Blue,
out of
maybe some
here.
epic on the best one and see how it does. At least to start out with and kind of take it from there. if nothing else, I am getting a decent amount of training manuals, which is something that, for anybody who started playing 6 months ago or less, especially, training manuals are extremely hard to come by. As the games progressed, originally training manuals kind of grew on trees, and then experience was the hard thing to get, and then the payouts shifted, and training manuals, especially these past 6 months, have been extremely difficult to come by, whereas experience has been growing on trees. So I'm in that latter boat. My problem is training manuals, not experience. Yeah, another kind of meh. Alright, this is going to be the last one, because we are... we don't have enough tickets for another one after this. Let's keep our fingers crossed it's something new and exciting, or at least something legendary. And another legendary Dragonite. Alright, well, we're going to go and take a look at our screen here and see how this played out. So, our schematics. Boom. So here we go. This is... Alright, I don't know how that one got in there. I should have retired that. But anyway, we've got one sniper rifle, one spear, for legendaries anyway, one Dragon Fury. We've got 3 Dragon Mites, 1, 2, 3 Dragon's Roar, and we've got 1 Affliction, 1 increased stun, another Affliction. And Dragon's Fury is the snare. That's really sad. Let's see, Dragon's Tooth, Sword, Dragon Fire. We've got 3 Dragon Blunderbusses and Epic, 5 of the rifles, 6 of the rifles and Epic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the rocket launchers in Epic, 2 sniper rifles in Epic, 1 spear, 2 swords, scavenger rifle. I'm pretty sure it's part of the scavenger set. That doesn't count. And this is, I don't know why this is sitting in here. Alright, let's cruise back into the heroes section, and we'll show you what we've got for heroes. Heroes wise, here they are. So not a ton of heroes, only 4 legendary heroes out of all those llamas. So that was 42, I believe, 42, at least 40, maybe 42 llamas, and that yielded us 4 legendary heroes. Luckily, each one is different. So we have the Soldier, Constructor, Ninja, and 2 of the ninjas, which is good. We did not get a legendary Outlander, which is sad. We didn't get Onslaught Headhunter, which is sad. Skirmisher's Edge, I can't remember if he's part of this set or part of something else. I feel like he's been out there for a while. Here's a bunch of Whirlwind Scorches. We didn't get Fireflower Eagle Eye either, which is really sad. That's pretty crazy, man. This is a really shitty, this is a really crappy RNG here, especially for heroes. I mean, check this out. 40 llamas, 40 plus llamas, and this is what we get. I mean, this is pretty, yeah, it sucks. Anyway, that's where we're at there. Come on back. We'll do some streaming later on this afternoon, more than likely. Let us know what you're looking for. Hey, 7 years under. Welcome to the chat. Got any questions or anything while we're on here? We're just about to wrap it up, but you know, it's kind of unfortunate right here as far as hero wise. I was really hoping we'd do a little better with that many llamas. Anyway, we're gonna we'll wind. I guess I need to push for some more tickets and open up some more llamas. We'll probably wind up saving those up again and do one more batch opening at some point here in the future. But there we go. Yeah, kind of bummed out. Let's go ahead and take a look at our quests here real quick, and almost done with our weekly challenges. If you're playing today, try and get in on our dungeons. Maybe I'll run some dungeon. Maybe I'll run a quick dungeon today. get a few more tickets. But if you're playing today, if you can get into the upper missions of Twine, there are two really good, well, one really good and one okay. The first time you run it, it's a really good one. This one, the perks on this are, I don't remember what the Storm Alert was. Storm Alert on this makes this really good. As far as the perk, I think you're getting about 100 Legendary, 120 Epic, so I don't know how many times I'd farm that one, other than obviously definitely do it the first time, because those Storm Alerts definitely make it fully worth it. This is the one you really want to go for today. I've ran this probably 5 times over the past 20, since this one came out, and I've gotten as low as 270 rain, and then as high as 350 rain, with the average for rain being in the 300, right around 300 rain per run. Really easy build. It's lightning, but build it out of brick and tier 3 it. Make your normal box, and it should be pretty easy. Just single trap box on the corner, rounded around the back. Launch them into one box. I just for one. So it's one of those things doing traps, right? In the box, I always put 2 wall launchers toward what's going to be inside, toward the objective portion. What they're going to go for to push them away from the walls, and then my wall launchers have healing perks on them. If you want to take a look at that real quick, we can show you what that looks like. So here's the perks for these. I know these aren't the favorite perks of a lot of streamers, but I use these primarily. I don't really need to fling husks, 4 tiles, right? Especially for my jail builds, I only care about just hitting them once. Now I do have the extra knockback on here, just so that I can use them in secondary role for other things, like pushing them 2 to 3 tiles to knock them off the map or something. If it's on the edge of the back of an objective. But big thing I'm looking for on this is durability. So these will last to file 15 on retrieve the data with 2 durability with the trap survivors I've slotted. And then 1 reload speed. I almost wouldn't mind putting another reload speed on there, but 1 reload speed will get you by. And then the big one for these, since they're on those inside walls, is the healing attached buildings. Now the other traps that I'll use, if it's not a 144 player, I will only use 1 wall light in my trap box. So I'll use 2 pushers, usually 106s, and then 1 106 wall light. And for my wall light, this is what we have here. We've got 2 impacts and knockbacks, 2 durabilities, 1 reload speed, and then the big important one on here, the effect duration. That may not look like a lot on paper, but in the game it actually does a decent amount of extra effect duration. I could probably knock one of these impacts off of here and put a reload speed on here, but if I did, then I'd be running durability issues with it lasting the entire time. So until I get some more trap durability survivors slotted, this is how I roll with it. And then likewise, it does help, a little bit of that impact does help to get them off the wall in case they're deciding they want to attack that outside one for any reason, because there's no extra healing on this in that last slot. Sound wall I should say, is the same way. 2 durabilities. This one I put on, because it already has a decent durability on the sound wall, I doubled up on the reload speed as opposed to an extra impact and knockback. That way this thing is triggering at a decent, re-triggering at a decent amount, and then couple that with the effect duration. And if you make one box with 2 pushers on the inside, 1 light wall, 1 sound wall, there's nothing getting through those. That is the perfect, at least this moment, in my opinion, the perfect trap box. You don't even need a floor freezer in there. I know some people put floor launchers in there. I absolutely do not recommend ever putting a floor launcher in. You can over time you can wind up damaging some of the littler husks, depending on how much impact you have on there. Throwing them up and down, that actually can wear on some of the smaller husks. I know it sounds a little weird. But I've seen it happen. I was actually playing with somebody last night who was having problems with some of their jail builds, and it wasn't the husks were despawning, they were actually doing some damage. So it's kind of interesting to see, and I know that as the meta continues to change on these floor launchers, they're doing damage, they're not doing damage, or they're not throwing smashers now, etc. We'll see how that plays out over time, but this right now makes for a really safe jail build. Nobody's going to get hurt. And I run Ice King as my main. I used to run Power Base Nox, but Ice King does a fantastic job with Power Base Nox and support. And here, might as well show you that while we're talking about it. In my loadout for that one, this is Jingle Jest, by the way, with the new Holiday Heroes team perk from Jelly Teacup. This is a fantastic build, and you will do a tremendous amount of damage. It basically gives you, if you're killing enough husks with it, and you're getting that fragment, pretty much you're getting 40 kills per thing. You basically have almost infinite Teddy. It's only down for a few seconds at a time, if down at all. If you've got a fragment on fragment on fragment, it works really well. Fault line cooldown and then 4 on the floor means that with this, you're being able to do your seismic smash with maybe 3-4 seconds of downtime, and basically that means by the time your 4 on the floor runs out, you're pretty much ready to do another seismic smash. So this is a fantastic build right here. And yeah, I know you can dump a little bit more into Teddy if you wanted to, but quite honestly, I don't like 100% Teddy builds or 100% on anything. I like a little bit of variation, because dumping everything into Teddy means that you really don't have any support for, let's say, your smash. And with your seismic smash, with the right setup and with this, it's cooling down and going so quick that it really becomes really well. The only thing that would be better with her is if she had shock tower instead of seismic smash, but you can run, and I do. Fragment Flurry Jest, she makes a nice loadout here as well, with up to voltage, and then static cling. This is a fantastic, this just shreds husks, and this one is probably my favorite for doing, if I'm doing eliminate and collects, this is who I run, generally. Or I will run Jingle Jest if it's lower, but if it's higher level, I'll run her instead, just because you don't necessarily need that extra Teddy duration. Her slotted, the 8 extra seconds. But here. Alright, so here is that build, and I know we keep getting off topic. This is my jail build. So I'm running Frozen Castle as primary. I just put recycling on here because I really don't need, we're not doing any damage, so I don't need, Mega Base Kyle's perk or anything else. The extra tile, you can take this off if you want. One thing that I do like to slot instead of that is going, going, gone, going and going, meaning that you get extra decoy duration. That's nice. At the same time, though, it is nice to be able to drop your base wherever you want, especially if you're going with extra people, and there's 2 of you jail building, let's say, on a not retrieve the data, but on a Ride the Lightning. You need that extra that extra tile really helps a lot on those for placement options. So that's where Mega Base comes in, and I just leave them in there just because power modulation is a must-have for this build. Hotfix also a must-have. Slotted in there. Tough Traps helps a lot because you've got those traps that are going to be firing non-stop as soon as you start to retrieve the data. And then Lofty Architecture as well is a must-have in my opinion. The banner, that way you respawn right there where you want to. And in addition to that, so I drop my banner as soon as I get to the objective drop point. That way when I get ready to launch, my banner is basically back up. Maybe the banner's got another 30 seconds. That way I can drop that banner and boost those walls up again when and if I need them, if a smasher starts in the beginning. And again, slow field is for that same reason. If a smasher does come, we've got slow field. So that will also slow them down and help them. And the nice thing about running Ice King is not so much to freeze the little husks, but if a random smasher does come along, you do wind up getting, their first hit on that is going to freeze them when they hit your level 3 wall, which means they won't break it. They'll freeze in place, and it gives you enough time to drop slow field, drop a banner, and take them down. Especially lower levels, it doesn't necessarily matter as much. You slot some 130 guns and you're done. But on those 140s, that's where it really comes in handy. Anyway, hope that helps. I really appreciate it. And let's see, we're going on about 40 minutes on this session, so we're going to call it here, and we'll be back. We'll see y'all later. And I'm going to go through here and slot some of those heroes and figure out the ones to upgrade, what I'm going to keep, and what I'm going to move around as far as guns as well. So we'll see all of you later. Check out 13C Gun Reviews on YouTube. If you're interested and you want to see some of the some guns in real life, we do shooting and reviews on those. So if you want to see those, that PS90 up there is going to be basically the same gun as the Bobcat in the game. We've got every other permutation you can think of, be it the Siege Breaker or AKA Scar, stuff like that. If it's modeled after a real life gun, there's a good chance it's been on our channel at some point. So hopefully go check it out. Including even up to Silent Spectres, Hacksaw. It's decent stuff. Thanks again, everybody. Take care. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon.